Good morning. Good morning to you all and happy Sunday. Happy 4th of July weekend. I hope you're having a wonderful time now that school is out, the summer vacation has begun, and you're probably traveling and doing lots of fun things, going to swim, maybe going to the park, visiting your relatives, your grandparents, and it's a wonderful time. Enjoying getting to go outside and enjoy the beautiful sunshine and breathing in the wonderful fresh air and enjoying the rain. We've been getting a lot of rain in the past few days, so that's very nice. Hope you're getting to enjoy all of those wonderful things. So today we are going to start a new unit on the search for understanding. Our first lesson is about asking questions. And one of the ways we begin to understand things is by asking questions. Now, I want you to remember there are no wrong questions, and often there is more than one answer to a question. Okay, so now let us say our affirmation for today. And so for today, we are going to have a little fun with our affirmation. We're going to sing our affirmation. So our affirmation for this week is, as I ask questions and try to understand, my heart and mind stay open. So I'm going to, like I said, we're going to do it a little different this week. So let's begin. As I ask questions and try to understand, my heart and mind stay open. As I ask questions and try to understand, my heart and mind stay open. As I ask questions and try to understand, my heart and mind stay open. All right, so there we go. Okay, so we are asking questions because we're asking questions because we want to understand. And like I mentioned before, there are no wrong ways to ask a question. There are no, there is, if we always keep in mind that we're asking questions because we want to get a greater understanding, then we won't be shy about asking questions. So our story today is entitled, Don't Ask. Brian's little sister asked a lot of questions. What do worms eat? Becky asked while Brian was eating his cereal in the morning. While Brian was brushing his teeth, Becky asked, Are you going to get married and call your wife Hun someday? When Brian left for school, Becky asked him, Do all the kids at your school have green notebooks like yours, or does someone have a purple one? Brian loved his little sister and usually didn't mind answering her questions. Sometimes it was fun, and he could always tell her, Go ask mom or dad. Mom said all kids ask questions, it's how they learn. But lately, Becky's questions were getting more frequent, and Brian was getting a little bit tired of them. What's wrong with the moon? Does it have spots on it? Becky asked Brian before bed. As soon as she woke up, she asked, Is chocolate pudding always brown? Why doesn't it Why couldn't it be blue? One afternoon, Brian was concentrating on building a Lego city, and Becky kept asking questions. How many Legos are there in the world? She asked. And do all boy babies have curly hair? And what if the world froze and we had to get in a spaceship and live on the moon? Could I still have a puppy for Christmas? Then the skyscraper Brian had worked on for an hour broke in half, and Becky started to ask another question. Do you think that frogs? Brian yelled, no more questions! Don't ever ask me one more question. No more questions allowed. Do you understand? Becky looked at him very sad and left the room. When Brian went to bed that night, his mom was sympathetic. She told him, being a big brother can sometimes be hard. Becky's questions can get tiresome. I know. But imagine being in a world where questions were not allowed. Brian fell asleep thinking about a world without questions. Sounded pretty cool. Brian dreamed he had been in a spaceship with his family and friends, and they landed on the moon. A moon person with bright blue skin and curly yellow hair opened the door of the spaceship and cheerfully said, we are happy to be of service to the people of the earth. Since your world is frozen, you are welcome to stay here until it thaws. My name is Sam, and I am your guide. Everyone got out of the spaceship and looked around. Brian was amazed to see that all the buildings were made of Legos. Sam was writing something in a purple notebook. Brian said, excuse me, I have a question. Sam looked startled. Then he spoke kindly but firmly to the whole group. No questions allowed. Please follow me to the pudding station. Everyone was given a big bowl of blue pudding. Becky was the first to try some. It was chocolate. Becky ate all of hers, and Brian gave her his bowl too. Questions kept popping into his thoughts. Did they have anything to eat here besides blue pudding? Where are they going to live? How long would they have to stay? Where did they get the Legos to build their houses? No one seemed bothered by Sam's announcement about asking questions, not even Becky. In Brian's dream, everyone was happy on the moon. They lived in a Lego house and went to a Lego school. At school, the teachers talked all day, and then the kids went home. Brian did not understand why they called it school when no questions were allowed. Brian's head filled with questions. Where did the moon people come from? Would they ever go back to Earth again? How was he supposed to learn without asking questions? Everyone seemed happy and nice, but no one seemed to care about important things. And what was wrong with Becky? She smiled and laughed and ate pudding. She didn't ask any questions. She needed she didn't seem like the real Becky. Brian couldn't stand it any longer. He hugged Becky and looked into her eyes and pleaded, "Please ask questions, Becky. Ask a question and I'll know you're okay. Just ask a question." The dream Becky looked at him and said, "Can I have a puppy?" And Brian woke up. It was morning and he could hear his dad in the kitchen and making breakfast. Brian's bedroom Brian's bedroom door opened and Becky came in. She said, "Dad's making smoothies. Do you want one?" Brian jumped out of his bed. "Great question, Becky. Ask me another one." And so that comes to the end of our story, and we could just imagine Brian delight when he realized that he was awake, and to see Becky there asking a question after having a dream where no one was allowed to ask questions. Now, I cannot imagine living in a world where I cannot ask questions. Can you? Now, what kind of world would it be? Oh my goodness. Or even at school. Forget the world, but how about going to school and not being allowed to ask questions? Um, like Brian said, why would we call it a school if you can't ask questions? Because like we said at the beginning, asking questions help us to have a greater understanding. So I hope you enjoyed today's story. And there are a few questions that we have at the end of the story, a few questions for discussion that you can share and with your sibling or your parents. The first question is, what questions do you wish someone would answer for you? It's number 1. Number 2, are you afraid to ask your teachers questions in school? Sometimes you're shy, sometimes I remember when I was in school, sometimes I'm just so shy I don't want to ask a question. So, and why don't you ask a question? And like I said, it could be that you're shy, or maybe the teacher does not encourage questions. I don't know. Just that's question number 2. Number 3, did you ever want to visit another planet? What questions would you want to ask when you get there? Number 4, do you think all questions have answers? Can you think of any questions that no one can answer? I truly think there's an answer for every question, but maybe there might be one. And the final question is, if you could time travel to the time of Jesus and ask him one question, what would it be? That's a good one. So, in closing today, I would like to read a Bible verse for you. This Bible verse is taken from Matthew chapter 7, and it's verses 7 and 8, and it pertains to our story for today, searching for understanding, as we continue to search for understanding. And it says, to ask and it shall be given to you, seek and you will find, knock and the door will be opened for you. For everyone who asks receives, and everyone who searches finds, and everyone who knocks, and for everyone who knocks, the door will be opened. So, thank you for being here, and I look forward to seeing you soon. Enjoy the rest of your summer. Enjoy the fireworks for 4th of July. Stay blessed. Namaste. And I will see you soon. Bye.